Congratulations. You've made it to almost the end of April. My name is Bren Harris. I am so glad you're here at the Bren Harris podcast. This is episode 112. I know, I can't believe it either. We have had so much rain. I hope you guys are staying safe. If you threw a dart at the U.S., right in the middle, that's where we are, Oklahoma, and the wind really does sweep down the plain. Let us know in the chat where you're chiming in from. And know, hey guys, Florida in the house, Georgia in the house. Good to see you. And let us know, because we believe here at the Warrior Nation that together we really are stronger. Now, why do I say that? Well, here's the truth. I don't always have great days and I don't have all the answers. What I do know is that when we lock arms with like-minded individuals, we are able to be stronger and tackle things that we in the past may have thought were impossible. Now, my story is not Pollyanna. My story is brutally honest and painfully awakening. I founded Warrior Moms by Bren, now the Warrior Nation, when my son was medically injured at 22 months of age. He was so tiny. I thought I was doing the right thing, taking him to the whale child visits. And once he was medically injured, last 12 plus years, we have walked through hell. And now we walk through it like we own the place and take water back to those still in the fire. I know it is not fun. I've always thought I was called for a purpose. This was not what I had in mind. And again, if you're just joining us or you're watching the replay, don't hesitate to let us know in the chat, in the comments where you're chiming in from. I'm in Oklahoma. It is crazy weather. It is spring storm season, and we have had so much rain. I just feel like we're all feeling kind of waterlogged. I know. Good to see you guys, and welcome. And if I don't know you, I would love to know you. Please let us know in the chat where you're chiming in from. And one of the things that I like to do, I like to make sure that you hear me. A recent study shows that moms in America, and this goes for solo dads as well, 79% of American parents feel unseen. They feel invisible. And why is that? Well, we're going to get into that. But I'm going to back this up. We've been at this for over 12 years. And this is my why. This is a camera-rich environment. What do I mean by that? Take a screenshot or a picture if you need to. This is my son. We have been fighting this. Why the Warrior Nation? Because we are fighting insurance 24/7 to get the services we need, to get the healing we need. Now, his official diagnosis is ASD. We do not have autism spectrum disorder in our house. We have a diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder. Level 3, nonverbal, theoretically lifelong care. Now, they gave us a laundry list of things he would never do in his life. And we've checked all those off, crossed all those off. We're not taking no for an answer. And we do not do traditional school. We do charter school, which we love. It has taken decade to find a real teacher that understands, and we are so blessed. She is one in a million, and I wish we could clone her. We told her last week, if you ever move to a different school, please let us know, because we're following you. And after 100 plus caregivers through therapy and school, and we've only found one or two that have been worth keeping for the long haul. I know this may not apply to you. Now, hear me, warriors. This may not apply to you. Most recently, boys are 1 in 31. Oh my gosh, if that's not a pandemic, I don't know what is. Or an epidemic. Boys are diagnosed on the autism spectrum 1 in 31. That means someone you know is affected by autism spectrum disorder. And we're not limiting that to just that. It can be physical, mental, emotional. Our mental health is so important, and it's even more important for our children. We're not here to say your grades are more important than you are. We're here to say, I'm going to meet you where you are, and I'm going to walk alongside you and help you along the way. Now, what do I mean by warriors? I see you. Because so many parents feel invisible. I got a lot of questions about last week's podcast. So we're going to recap a little. My son learns new words by using American Sign Language. So reviewing, I see you. Yep, just like that. I see you. I see you. If we are out and about, he still can't tell anyone where he lives or who his mom is. So we make sure that we can see each other. Line of sight is what we say, his whole team. Pardon me. I am recovering from a very rare asthma flare these last probably 6 weeks. Thanks for grace. I need to wet the whistle and make sure I can speak plainly. So when we're out and about, we're always like, you can go over there and sit and play on my phone for 2 minutes while I shop, but I need you to be where I can see you. I can see you. So I want you to hear me. If no one's told you today, you are doing a great job, whatever you're working at. You are not invisible, and I see you. I'm here with you because I have had some of those days, especially when we don't feel 100% with our health. It feels like, is this how it's always going to be? And that's garbage. That is straight from the enemy. That is garbage. Things will not always be where they are when we are struggling and growing and in the trenches. Hey guys, good to see you. We got Seattle in the house, Morocco in the house. Again, I live in Oklahoma. If you're just joining us or you're catching the replay, chime in the comments and let us know where you're watching from. We are building a community. In the Warrior Nation, we have 3 pillars and 1 goal. And that's connection, community, contribution, making a difference for others, and championing our calling. And when we champion our calling, that means we don't sit around and feel sorry for whatever situation we're in. We're saying, what is this trying to teach me? Now that reads easy, lives hard. What is this trying to teach me? Okay, so one of the things that we covered last week about being a caregiver when we feel underappreciated or invisible, I talked about 4 things. Getting more sleep. So this, again, you can take pictures. Here we go. Sleep more. Now, that seems kind of obvious, but as caregivers, we tend to go and go and go and go and go. And then when we try to shut our brain off, it doesn't happen. So our word for this week is an Okinawan word. That's where we lived. That's where my son was born. We lived there for several years in southern Japan, and it is called moe. Think of moe, M-O-E-A, moe. And best translation for English is safe. And think of baseball. It's going to go like that. That's the American Sign Language. Safe. You're safe here. I see you. I hear you. You're safe here. And I'm with you. Safe. Okay. Moe. And then rest more. I do that by having a system. I love the Jim Quick, he's a memory expert, says when the body moves, the mind grooves. I have an asana almost. I have some stretches that I do once my son is finally, we have it stacked and we have an exact routine. We do not deviate. He did not sleep for years. So we do this without medication. Hear me, warrior moms. We do this without medication. He has his own system, his own routine that we do not deviate from, whether we're at home or we're on the road. We have an exact routine for the evening. And obviously that's self-care, shower, deodorant, now that we're a teenager, teeth, face, now that we're a teenager. Hello. And we do each of these things every single night, no matter how we feel, so that we habit stack and our brain is coming down from the day. I don't know if you guys remember way back when your child was a toddler and started moving around and got into everything. I've heard horror stories of toddlers falling in the trash can and they're eating all the trash, or they get out and there's no safety fence for the pool, God forbid. I mean, that's the kind of pressure that special needs parents are under every single day, regardless of the age of their child. We do not get to sit back and kick back and not know where they are or have eyes on them. See you. I see you. Hey guys, good to see you. Yeah, we got Tulsa in the house. That's just down the road. Great. Glad you're here. And we push the envelope. We are traveling. We are doing real life. That just this week, it's finally safe to plant, and I'm a crazy plant lady. And that was what my son's assignment was. He was pushing the giant cart. He was lifting all the big plants. He was paying at the register, learning real life things. Now, when we come home, as soon as that timer hits, where we're like, okay, this is where we start coming down from the day. Now, we believe in no electronics of any kind where we sleep. I know, not popular. Hear me, warriors. EMF disrupts everything. A recent study, and I will link it in the comments, a recent study says that bees exposed to Wi-Fi and EMF and 5G get so confused they don't know how to return to the hive. So they are out and about, can't figure out how to get back to the hive, and they die. The bee population goes away and all that pollination, we don't have any crops. If it's going to affect something like as simple as a bee that pollinates all our flowers and generates all this goodness for our environment, how's it going to affect us? Now, I mentioned last week that I have radiation blockers on everything. And they're little round sticker discs that you can get online. They're a little bit bigger than this life-saving cough drop that I keep here in case the asthma flares up. And in my office, I have a blocker. We have a smart meter on the other side of this wall on the outside of our home. We didn't really have a choice. I didn't know all the downsides of it. So now we have a Faraday cage on the smart meter. Hear me, warriors. If you have a smart meter in your home, you need to cover it. And you can get a Faraday cover, very reasonable, online. Now, I also have this mini harmonizer, just like this. I'm not selling anything. I'm just sharing with you what I do. You can kind of see that little light blinking. When I'm in this office, I have it here because I'm sitting here with tons of lights and extra electronics. And I have that here so that my system doesn't get disrupted and I can't sleep. I know it seems a little extreme. That's okay. And if you want to know which radiation blockers we use, just reach out in the DMs. Also, all of us have a smartphone. Yes, that's my why right there. I have two on this. This is a 15 Pro Max. It's not the brand new one, but it is always emitting EMF. And that radiation takes a toll. Now, we've had some relatives that are older. They would try to keep their phone in their pocket and they'd end up with a burn on their delicate elderly skin. That's just another confirmation that it's important. We don't need our sleeping area to look like a Vegas casino with electronics and our phone right under our head. No. Radiation blocking. We need to be as unplugged as possible about an hour before we're doing that. Because haven't you ever felt really tired and really wiped out, and then you put your head on the pillow and you just cannot fall asleep? Trust me, radiation blockers, they're so simple and so easy and so affordable. Of course, no one's talking about it because they don't make anyone a ton of money like all these electronics do. And then we have a zone where we plug in the electronics, we charge the electronics. Those are all in a central location. For us, that's right off the kitchen. And that's where our entire whole house EMF dampener is. It's a little unit. I have a little snowball mic here. You can see that. It's probably 8 inches tall. It's about double this size and about this round. And it just sits in the corner. And it's good for about 3,200 square feet. So it's really important that you invest in your mental health and your emotional health when it comes to electronics. Not very popular, I know. And we wonder, I am in so many moms groups for special needs children. On the daily, kids are slamming their iPads down and beating it with their fist. They're throwing a hammer through the TV. That's why, because our super kids are extremely, extremely susceptible to EMF radiation. And These blockers, we have them on every single Wi-Fi device in our home, the routers, the TVs, all of it. Even the remotes to the key fob to our vehicles. Okay. And then the other thing I received a lot of questions about from last week, please check out the other video, is gratitude. Now, I know this sounds, ooh, kumbaya. No, I'm talking about real gratitude. When we are in the trenches and we are working our tails off and nobody notices, I hear the quote from Melanie Beattie, gratitude turns what we have into more than enough. A meal into a feast, a house into a home. It's all about perspective. And sometimes I'm claiming this by faith because this is not really my default, especially I'm more type A. Okay, here's the task we're doing and we're going to get them done and we're going to do them with excellence. And that's because I was raised by a retired drill sergeant from the Army Reserves, and then I married into the military. I know, but it's all about getting the task done. Now, if you're on the live, can you put an L? If you're on the replay, put an R in the comments. And also, if you're getting value, please put value in the comments. Again, this may not be for you, but if boys are diagnosed 1 in 31, you know someone that is in the trenches, being a super mom or dad, and is feeling underappreciated and invisible. Okay. And then the last thing, gratitude. Before my head hits the pillow, I'm writing down 3 things I'm grateful for from the day. Now, that may be, I'm so thankful I didn't kill anybody and end up in jail today. I mean, tongue in cheek, of course, but sometimes people are idiots, especially when it comes to our social skills activities in the community. When they don't understand special needs, they think the children are being brats. No, you can't spank the autism out of a kid. It's all about behavior modification with respect. Now, I know ABA can get really bad rap. That's applied behavioral analysis. We do that selectively because we have been burned and have suffered some great trauma. If you want to know who not to use in Oklahoma, please reach out to me privately. Okay, so we call them here quick wins when we're doing our gratitude at the end of the day. Thank you. Thank you so much that we were able to go grab a bite to eat or get a treat once we did our work, because I'm teacher, ward, and therapist, people. We are working at the kitchen table. We're on the school iPad, which also has 2 radiation blockers on it, just like the smartphone. And I have the stickers on here, and I also have a radiation blocking case. So this is really real. You ever wonder why we feel so tired now that we're so connected? The EMF is a lot of that. Okay, so 3 quick wins for the day. That might be, okay, I didn't kill anyone or hurt anyone and I didn't end up in jail. Or that might be, everyone in my home is still alive today. Or that might be, wow, I got up and got a lot accomplished today. And if I had not written these things down, I wouldn't realize it. I'd still feel stuck and feel like I need to keep going and hustle and do. No, hustle culture is garbage. We're here to habit stack and win. 3 quick wins for the day. Now, for those of you who may not know, I do have a book coming out. I'm not going to reveal the title yet, but I would love to read some of this to you. Not right now, on the next podcast. And you need to let me know if that's something you would be interested in. I had no idea I had the capability of writing a book, and I didn't do this alone. I partnered with people that were farther down the road that I know, like, and trust, that I met in another mastermind, that are on the same path and improving their lives and always habit stacking and getting better. And I knew that they had the chops to help me along the way and they wouldn't lead me astray. Now, I've been working with them since probably early fall last year. So it's not something that happens overnight. Overnight success usually takes 15 years. Okay. So I am working on a book. It is finished. It is in the editing phase. We are now in the production stage. Now, if you want to be on the early list, please let me know. because you can get a copy as early as 15 days before anyone else. And I know that you will love this. Now, it is a mystery. It is set on the island of Okinawa in southern Japan, and it is set in a military setting. And it is a mystery with lessons for the warrior parent at the end of every chapter. And we will also have a journal with it. And I am a firm believer that when we write things out, we get all that white noise out of our head and all the things we're trying to remember, and now it's on paper. And when we write that vision, we can make it plain so a runner can read it on the run. Habakkuk 2:2. And again, I won't claim to have all the answers. What I do know is that we want to be here at The Warrior Nation, your source for truth, transparency, and trust. Warriors, unite.